Hey guys, first Regardsman here, and today we'll be talking about some major Space Marine 2 news regarding TECHMARINE, Saber's comments on new heroic cosmetics, and if there's any potential for FOV on consoles on top of if the new operation will be playable in the upcoming public test server. A few days ago, Saber Interactive posted a massive Xbox Wire article that gave us brand new screenshots of the TECHMARINE class and information on its overall playstyle on top of its release date. Now, a major thing I want to talk about for the TECHMARINE right off the bat, since a lot of people ask this question, is that this is going to be a free update, and any player who owns any version of Space Marine 2 will be able to play the new class. This also means that you'll be able to play the class if you are on Game Pass, which Space Marine 2 is confirmed to finally be coming out on. And that is amazing news for this game, as having the game on Game Pass is going to be a pretty massive benefit for the overall player base, which has already been in a fairly good spot thanks to the weekly stratagems mode. But the big news here is that Saber has officially confirmed that TECHMARINE is set to release in a few weeks, with the public test server confirmed for the end of January. Now, this is a little surprising, as the prior patch 11.0 took an entire month to come out after the initial PTS for it launched, so we will have to wait and see if this patch will officially launch at that date, but for now that is Saber's official comment. Now, the best thing about this article is that we got a serious answer as to how this class will actually play, as the TECHMARINE is set to be a crowd control machine that also allows for defensive playstyles thanks to their unique tarantula turret mechanic. This is the first image we have ever seen of how they're going to appear in-game, and these will be spread throughout the operations and siege mode maps, and they will be repairable by the TECHMARINE exclusively thanks to their passive starting perk. Saber also spoke further on the servo gun class ability, which will be one of the most unique class abilities we have ever seen in this game. It will have multiple options for you to specialize your build, such as a plasma variant that they even showed an image of here. This also looks an awful lot like the plasma pistol. That makes a ton of sense given the information they dropped in this article that we'll get into further in a minute, based on how this thing can actually help you out with gun strikes. We already know from previous leaks that there will also be a sniper variant as well as the standard bolter variant, which you can actually see here. So it seems like a lot of the previous perk release we had are going to wind up being true. Something brand new they revealed in this article was that the servo gun will also have another feature beyond the specialization that will allow it to automatically target and perform gun strikes for you mid-combat. This could be incredibly powerful depending on how much damage the servo gun actually does. If we are able to change the gun or take our secondary into account, that'd be a pretty cool thing to see, especially since usually it's impossible for you to hip fire and gun strike simultaneously since they are bound to the same key, and having the servo gun do it for you could open up that as a potential gameplay option. As we kind of already expected, the TECHMARINE is set to be a medium range to close range class, and Omnisaya Axe is also going to be a crowd control weapon with some presumably heavy hitting single target attacks as well. But I will say it is nice to see Saber finally confirm this, because I think that hybrid classes with defensive playstyles can be some of the most entertaining in horde shooters, since they really let you take part in the most engaging moments of combat rather than being stuck in a single niche. I am curious to see what you guys think of these servo guns so far, since it does sound like it might be similar to a secondary weapon in damage, which could be just what this class needs, because the Tarantula Sentry guns could set up a massive amount of extra damage if used properly. It does look like there might be a significant repair time for these turrets, but I'm fine with that if that's the case, as long as the damage and health of these turrets is as powerful as it should be. It does run the risk of being a gimmick if these turrets wind up being too weak, but we are going to have a public test server, so that can likely be avoided through player feedback if they do wind up being underpowered. Personally, I would prefer the TECHMARINE launch to be completely busted, because that's usually a far better thing for a new class in a horde shooter than launching them as an underpowered or niche class. Just look at the launch of RBDs compared to the Hive Scum in Dark Tide as an example. Saber also confirmed we will be getting 3 new heroic weapons in this update. We have no idea which weapons these will be for, but my assumption is that we will almost certainly be getting a heroic power axe variant, because the power axe is currently the only melee weapon in Space Marine 2 that has no heroic variant. This weapon is also leaked to be available in the TECHMARINE class, so it would make a lot of sense if the new heroic weapons they have launched with the TECHMARINE update are on the TECHMARINE. This might even extend to the Omnisaya Axe, as getting a brand new weapon with a heroic variant could make it much easier to level, since you can use heroic weapons even if you don't have any other variants unlocked, as long as you purchase them with your accolades. Some players may be a bit disappointed about only getting 3 heroics in a major update, but since we're getting an entirely new class plus new melee weapon and a new operation on top of these heroics to spend your accolades on, I think it's pretty reasonable. Now, unfortunately, one of Saber's community managers did say that we are unlikely to see any new heroic cosmetics in this patch, which does mean the player base will have a lot less to spend their accolades on or grind more for. So let me know how you guys feel about that that in the comments. And another major question the players asked Saber about is whether we can have multiple TECHMARINE Tarantula turrets active at once. And the answer to this is a giant yes. Saber's community manager confirmed this, replying that having multiple active at once will be completely doable in game. This feature might not come up that often in operations mode, depending on turret placements on the maps, but in modes like siege mode, where the map is far more compact and you return to previously conquered areas, this could be pretty damn good. Saber also talked about the new operation that's coming in patch 12. This operation is set to feature a returning character from the campaign and is confirmed playable in the upcoming public test server set to release next week. Whether the entire operation will be playable is a different matter, since prior public test servers usually saved a part of the operation for the official release, which is why the Tyranid Prime bosses were not available until the official launch of patch 11.0. The public test server will only be available on the PC version of the game, but I will be showcasing the new class and operation when the PTS actually launches. We also know, thanks to prior leaks, that the new operation will feature both Chaos and Tyranids as an enemy faction, which was once again confirmed by Saber directly. We haven't had an operation with both Chaos and Tyranids in the game since the launch, as the only other map that had this feature was Vox Liberatus, which was a pretty fun one, but we haven't had one since. Though we did see this on Siege mode, it's not quite the same, as operations are a story-based event mode more than that mode is, so seeing how they incorporate both the Tyranids and Thousand Suns into this operation could be pretty damn amazing. The last few operations in general have been far better than the ones we had at launch, especially for Chaos, since Vortex is probably my favorite Chaos map in the whole game currently, and it's definitely better than the other one they added, which was Obelisk. Let me know what you guys want from a new operation. Are you excited to see both Chaos and Tyranids on the same map again, or we just prefer a single faction map? I know that Chaos Spawn in particular are not that popular, but my major hope for this operation is that we get to see more direct battles between the Tyranids and Chaos factions, instead of having the factions split into sections of the map, kind of like we have in Vox Liberatus, because they don't really interact with each other all that much at all. A final thing that Saber Interactive commented on was if there was any potential of an FOV slider for consoles. This was a feature that was not available at launch for any version of the game. It was later added to the PC version post-launch. Saber's community manager unfortunately said there are currently no plans for FOV on consoles for Space Marine 2. This will probably upset some players because FOV does make this game look significantly better and also play a bit smoother on the PC, but I can only assume that the reason for the lack of FOV on consoles is due to performance concerns, as modes like Siege mode already seriously struggle on pretty much every platform. So let me know what you guys think about FOV in the comments below. I know this has been a hot button topic for a long time in this game. That's the official statement from Saber for now. Now, on top of the new TECHMARINE class, patch 12 will also see the release of the Raven Guard Chapter Champion pack that we have a leaked image for, and the Kakarodone's cosmetic pack that we know literally nothing about yet. Something we do know about, though, is the upcoming voice customization and chapter heads DLC pack that will be launched simultaneously with patch 12.0. This will be a separate purchase from the Season 2 pass and will contain head customization and voice lines for the Blood Angels, Space Wolves, and Black Templars chapter. Saber said we will get a sneak peek of the DLCs in the upcoming PTS. We'll have to wait and see if the heads are actually available there. They did also confirm that these heads will not have specific voice lines with the base game chapters, so if that is a deal breaker for you and whether you want to purchase these or not, just keep that in mind. We don't know how much the DLC pack will cost for these, but the Raven Guard Champion pack, like all other Champion packs, should be around 8 USD, and the chapter cosmetic pack should be like 5 USD like all the previous ones as well. And the last thing I want to talk about here is that Saber did previously confirm that the TECHMARINE update will not be removing class restrictions, so only one player will be able to play as a TECHMARINE at a single time. A lot of players expressed concern about this, but this will primarily be a launch problem, as eventually players will spread out to the other classes again once they've leveled their TECHMARINE and has been out a bit longer. Even though I do think this might be a little problematic at launch, there aren't many solutions beyond lifting class restrictions for all classes or only the TECHMARINE, which they've been pretty clear they don't want to do. But that is pretty much everything I wanted to cover in this video. Let me know how you guys are feeling about the TECHMARINE, if the playstyle sounds fun to you, or what kind of build you're looking forward to the most. I will also be streaming the launch of the public test server for the TECHMARINE update to show the all-new heroic weapons, TECHMARINE class gameplay, and the new operation next week, alongside the official launch a few weeks after that. So if you don't have access to the public test server and you want to see early gameplay of the class as soon as it launches, or you just want to hang out and ask me questions about the game, you can find me here live on YouTube or on Twitch with a link in the description below, alongside a link to my community Discord. I also want to say a special thank you to my channel members for helping me to be able to make guides for this game and keeping the channel alive. And as always, guys, thank you for watching. If you like content like this, subscribe for more, and take it easy. Bye.